Hey there, this is Gil. One more time, I wanted to show you a second option for using the debug stream window, which gets a little more advanced but gives some pretty good information that I thought you might want to use. So the first video we talked about how to get used to this write debug streamline and how to open the debug stream window. So I'm going to start with this program, and if you want to see how that works, look at the previous video that I published, and we're going to extend this a little. So the technique that we're going to use is we're going to leverage a variable that is used in RobotC, which is the timing variable. If you look at the function library, and you see there's various commands and variables. There is a variable that RobotC automatically sets up and populates, which is called nProgramTime. And again, if you want to learn more about it, you go to your help file and you search for nProgramTime, and you'll see it talks about a lot of timing functions. nProgramTime is just one of many timing variables and functions that are available in RobotC, which you'll get into once you get more complicated. I think you guys have started to use the wait 1 sec and wait 10 sec features for just having your code pause for certain bits of time. So if you go to nProgramTime or nPGMTime, you'll see that it talks about a variable that has a 1 millisecond clock, and that it resets. Whoops. Let's get this so we can see it. This variable resets when the user program first starts running. Doesn't increment when the program is in the debugger, which may or may not be useful. Usually when you're in the debugging, the time is thrown out the window, so this actually is probably good that it doesn't increment when the debugger is suspended. So I want to use this time to kind of understand how long our program is spending in the various sections, which is something that's really important to know when you're programming a robot. So what I did was took the program that we did and added the feature that publishes this nPGMTime every time we execute the write debug streamline. Now, to be able to add that value, we had to implement the more advanced format string feature that RobotC and pretty much all programming languages use when you want to write variables within the text that you're publishing, right? So you see the same text, and what's different here is there's some special characters that start with a %, which tells the compiler, the RobotC programming language, that you're going to want to insert a variable at this point, and you have to tell it what kind of variable. D stands for integer. I forget why it's a D. I think it has to do with something in its precision value. So it's a little bit convoluted, but you can use the help file to define which format you want to use for which variable type. Then you specify the variable that you want to insert, and you can insert many variables, and you can separate them by commas, and you can have many %Ds in here, but we're just going to implement one for now, and we want it to be implemented right after the time colon, and we're going to then be able to present to the program or print to the debug line stream the number of milliseconds that have elapsed since these various elements have been executed. So I did that to all the debug streamline events, and let's run it and see what it looks like. So we bring up our program that we had before. Let's reset it back to the start. And start it up. So you can see now the time output is getting sent to the debug screen. We just exited the while loop after 14 seconds. And now we're executing the while 2 loop. And we've just exited the while 2 loop, and our total program runtime was 26,899 milliseconds, or 26.9 seconds. So I think this is a good thing to add, and will give you guys a lot of insight into how long different functions are running, and especially when you're using or developing the dead reckoning code navigation that you're doing, where you're trying to follow a maze or a labyrinth. Anyways, good luck, and hopefully this helps you get to a new level in your debugging.